Yakshimash, I am your friend Sayu Rinpoche. I like you, I love sex. Last time, if you remember, we went to a city in France called Nice. And today, we're gonna go to a different city, and it's also very nice. Actually, it's very nice. High five. Alright folks, we're on our way out. As you can see, the square is pretty empty today. Actually, I did a quick reading on Prato della Valle last night, and so this is actually one of the largest squares in Europe. And of course, before we go, we're gonna take a closer look at this square. Afterwards, we're just gonna be heading straight to Venice.
Yep, once you leave this place, you never know when you're gonna come back. For Europe's largest city square, it was the only time that I was able to see it without the presence of the open-air market during the day.
This guy is a philosopher and a mathematician. And this guy looks like he fought in the American Civil War.
Good thing that I decided to take one final look of Prato della Valle before I board the train to Venice. Because all of a sudden, I realized one thing that was, oh well, kind of very serious.
Well, I'll tell you something funny. Actually, I forgot my passport at the Airbnb. A good thing I decided to film on Prato della Valle last minute before I left. So it gave me enough time to go back and reclaim my passport. Otherwise, you know, I probably will have to stay here forever.
Okay, maybe the best plan for now is for me to stick around a bit longer. Just in case I realize that I forget something else. Why don't we check out another famous site just nearby? Basilica di Sant'Antonio di Padova. Maybe not going to the train station right away was an act of God. So I put my hands together, looked up and asked San Antonio, did I forget anything else? After 20 minutes with no response, I figured that probably I had all my belongings with me. Alright, let's go to Venice then. Venice is just a half-an-hour train ride from Padova. Many travelers actually use Padova as a base to see Venice through day trips. However, I want to experience this world-famous city in depth, so I broke my bank and decided to stay in the actual city for 4 days. If you have been enjoying our Veneto adventure so far, make sure to subscribe our channel so you won't miss the rest of the series.
Trenitalia per Bologna Centrale delle ore 11:40 al binario 18. Regionale 17.
Alright friends, I just got into Venice.
Venice is a unique city, period. It is a city not only without cars, but also without roads that cars can drive on. To make my commute in the next 4 days easier, I bought the public transit pass at the train station. Well, you won't see regular buses here, but instead, you'll see these aqua buses called vapoletti that work just like buses in your hometown.
Anyways, I got a ticket but only 72 hours, so that starts the moment I use it. Well, considering I have to leave Venice late on the 4th day, so I think for now I'll just walk to my hotel. That's going to be a 2.2 kilometer walk, and also gives the opportunity to explore the city a little bit. We'll see you there.
So the plan for my first day is Just stick to the area around my hotel so I can use my 72-hour Vaporetto pass for the remaining 3 days of my time in Venice. Fortunately, or I can also say unfortunately, my hotel is located right behind Piazza di San Marco, Venice's main city square. So there will still be a lot to see just on my first day in the vicinity of my hotel. Because Venice is a city with no modern roads, you either walk or take a boat to get to anywhere. Imagine you bringing heavy suitcases but having to roll them everywhere. Yes, including many stairs and uneven alleyways older than the history of a unified Italy. It will be, very unpleasant. So I highly recommend you packing light, preferably in a backpack, or shelling some money on water taxis for your arrival if you can afford one.
Wow, what an interesting place.
Despite already having a first impression of Venice on my first day of our Veneto adventure, when the bus to Padova did a quick detour to the city of Canals. The real first impression comes this time when I got to walk around Bella Venezia. It felt like time travel, especially in neighborhoods I passed by on my way to the hotel that had fewer tourists. The hotel I stayed at was in a typical Venetian building very close to the tourist hotspots, which means it was always busy day and night. I wish I stayed in a similar building, but in these quieter areas, so I could better connect with Venice's heritage without the city's famous, never-ending tourist crowd.
Alright, so just checking into my hotel, and as you can see in the previous clips that are, in Venice, there's always a tourist crowd. And the hotel I'm staying at is located very close to San Marco Square. That was actually a quite long walk. I recommend that if you do have mobility issues, maybe pick somewhere that's near the bus station or the train station, because in Venice, it's pretty much just a pedestrian city. So if you take the bus or the train to the city, you have to get off there and then walk to other places. There are also like water buses, but even the place I'm staying at, that's you still have to go through a very crowded area of the city. And of course, right now it's about 12 o'clock. That's another embarrassing time. I heard there are no good restaurants in the San Marco area. Well, the vast majority are probably catering to tourists. I mean, probably all restaurants in Venice are catered towards tourists. But I did see some quite inviting places that are a little bit outside of the city center area. I'm gonna go to those neighborhoods and take a look and probably find a place to have lunch.
After getting lost in the back alleys for about 30 minutes, I found a small restaurant with tables set straight on the side of an alley. I ordered spaghetti alle vongole, a signature Venetian-style pasta with clams, and tiramisu, another Venetian classic, for dessert.
Wait, is this Morano glass?
This is a classic example of knowing what souvenirs to buy before really knowing the place. Come on, don't lie. You love tequila, but do you know anything about Jalisco, where tequila is produced? For now, it's all about knowing Venice. And there is no better place to start the learning process than one particular spot near my hotel.
Alright, we're with the tourist horde, so that was a lovely lunch and a quick rest. Actually, I went clothing shopping because in 2 days I'm gonna attend a concert, so I need some proper attire for it. But anyways, now I'm on my way to the #1 hotspot in Venice, Piazza di San Marco. it's actually quite windy out there. Well, in case you don't know, the iconic building behind me, this is Basilica di San Marco. So this is absolutely one of the landmarks and icons of Venice. So this actually contains the remain of San Marco or Saint Mark or just Mark. Oh, hey Mark.
Not hit her. I did not. Oh, hi Mark.
Mark was the author of one of the Gospels, and the remains of Mark, like everybody else, they were all in the Middle East. It's just but Venice was heavily involved in the crusade. So during that event, not only they sacked Constantinople, but also they were able to get the remains of Mark all the way from the Middle East into this basilica here in the center of Venice. I'm not sure, because normally that place is pretty crowded, and also it's one of the few free sites here in Venice. Let me actually go take a look to see if the line is long. If it's short, then let's go take a look together.
The line was long, but wasn't as long as I thought. So I joined the queue to see this world-famous architecture. While waiting in line, I noticed that the symbol of the Republic of Venice, the winged line of St. Mark, can be found around every corner of Piazza di San Marco. Like mentioned in the very first episode of our Veneto adventure, the Republic of Venice was an independent yet influential country for over 1,000 years in the Mediterranean region, with the very spot where I was standing on being the beating heart of a realm that stretched as far as the Balkans on the other end of the Adriatic Sea. This magnificent church building right in front of our eyes is the embodiment of the glory, or some also say the dark past, of the Republic of Venice. When the queue moved to the entrance, I found out that visiting Basilica di San Marco was not free like what I thought. Oh well, that means it will be a full exploration this time rather than just a quick look, as I probably wouldn't queue again and then also pay again so I could visit this church again. Our Venice adventure will continue as we enter the most iconic shrine that's inseparable from Venice's history. What will we see? Follow me to the next episode.